Hey beautiful people, it's your girl Aylia and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been a long time coming, but I am happy to be here, happy to finally have joined the YouTube community, and I'm excited for the things that we got coming up. For today's video, I'm going to do a simple get ready with me slash like morning skincare routine while also answering some of the questions that you guys left for me in the comment section of my Instagram reel. And yeah, so without further ado, let's jump right into the video and get to it. For today's video, I'll be using the Superfood cleanser to cleanse from you to the people, following up with the Vinoclean Moisturizing Toner from Caudalié, and then for my serums, I'm using the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid B5 Serum, as well as the Vitamin C Serum from Youth to the People. My moisturizer of choice today is the Biossance Squalane Probiotic Gel Moisturizer, and I'll be following up with my lip sleeping mask and of course my Black Girl Sunscreen. So I have here 25 questions that I was asked. So I asked people on my Instagram, you know, like what are some things that you guys want to know about me? So we're going to get right into it. All right, so first question, and I'm just going to combine these because I feel like these are pretty basic. So what's your age, sign, what's your ethnicity slash background? So I am now 24. Your girl just celebrated her birthday on January 4th, so I'm a Capricorn. Ethnicity, I am Black, New York City born and raised, but both of my parents are from Jamaica. So in my heart, I'm an island girl, you know, just born and raised here. Who's your bestie? So my two best friends, one you guys will be seeing pretty soon, is Sid, aka Sydney. We met in high school and we started to get really close. I want to say like we started getting close in like 2017, like senior year of high school, and then when we went to college, we stayed in touch. But the peak of the pandemic, I want to say, like me and Sydney like really rekindled like that connection between us. Sydney's my, you know, she's my soulmate. Like the girl Sydney might as well be my man at this point, if I'm being very, very, very honest. And then my other best friend, who I've known now for more than a decade, since middle school, is Justine. That's my best friend. I met Justine when I was, what, 11 years old? 12? 11? What age are you when you go into middle school? I met her when I was 11, and so we've been best friends since then. So that's like, what, 13 years of friendship? That's my girl, okay? Like, I don't even call them best friends anymore because like they're my sisters, they're my family. What was your favorite trip? My favorite trip actually happened in 2022. Sydney and I went out to Tulum, and we went out with also like her coworkers, and it was a vibe, y'all. It was really, really cool. The scenery there was really beautiful. We went to like the cenotes. We stayed at a really nice hotel also, and like there were just a lot of like fun things there, and I'll leave like little clips right here for you guys to see. But we went to Coco Bongo in, I don't know if we went to the one in Cancun, but there are two locations. But the one that we went to, it was lit, y'all. Like it was a whole, like they had the dancers. Me and Sydney got up on the stage, okay? Like we was up there representing New York City. Me and Sydney won the tour contest also, so it was lit, y'all. Tulum owes us nothing. It was a really, really good trip. All right. Ooh, when was your biggest heartbreak? Y'all didn't hold back with the questions, huh? I was in a long-term relationship that started when I started college, and the relationship was pretty rocky. But there were a lot of lessons that I learned in that relationship between like 2021 and early 2022. You know, like because things ended and I was grieving and I was just like going through the motions of that. It was a lot to take on. After being with somebody for a while, you get accustomed to just like physically being around somebody. And I think the hardest thing about that breakup was just me having to like reevaluate like my own needs. One of the biggest lessons that I learned in that relationship was just that like I have to take care of myself. It's real easy for me to kind of like just codepend on somebody and expect that this person, because they know me and they've been with me for this long, that they're gonna, you know, pick up on stuff. But at the same time, I need to be a big girl and speak up for what I want. You know, like that was one of the bigger lessons. Like, I have to learn how to set boundaries and speak up for myself. Now, there were some turbulent things that happened in the relationship also, and like, you know, after just like the trials and tribulations of that relationship, I was like, okay, you know what, I gotta leave. And leaving was a hard thing to do because I'm the type of person, I don't like to give up easily. I'm a Capricorn, you know we stubborn. You know we stubborn, right? So I didn't want to, you know, give up. And I feel like a lot of it was just me thinking like, oh, I'm giving up too easily and like I just got to stick it out. But after, again, just reevaluating like what I needed for myself and how healthy is this relationship, and like, am I actually thriving? Do I, you know, like I made the decision to just take a step back and focus on myself. So right now I'm not actively dating. I'm not like looking for a relationship. I don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. So, you know, like I'm very much just trying to take the time and invest back into myself. If I'm being really honest, I feel like I've been in relationships back to back since like end of middle school going into high school. And you know, those relationships were not as serious. Like this was my first serious relationship. So the heartbreak was 10 times worse than like the little puppy loves that I had when I was younger. You know, the lessons learned were harder also. Like there were just a lot of things that felt harder with this breakup, because like, you know, I'm older, I'm wiser, like I know what's going on versus when I was younger. But after being in relationships back to back like that, I was like, yeah, it's time to be by myself. And that was one of the scariest things that I could have done, because I used to think to myself, I'm not capable of being alone. But I'm gonna save the rest of those lessons, I'm gonna save the rest of that for my skincare and talk to my therapist series that will be on my YouTube channel. What made you want to start a YouTube and venture off into digital creation? I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for years now. I feel like at the beginning of college, I was like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, you know, all of that. But life happened and I didn't start it. But last year, in January of 2022, I decided I'm going to start posting reels. So I started posting reels. I started the Self-Care Sundays with Aylia on my Instagram. And I was just, you know, out there putting the things that I wanted to out there. And the love that I got from it, the support that I got from it was like, oh, wow, your girl's out here doing the thing, okay? So I was like, this year, I decided I really wanted to start my YouTube channel. And just looking at the growth from 2022, like all of last year, the reels that I was posting, and just the amount of support that I got within that year, I was like, yeah, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to take the next step into doing that. Because like I'm working with Nadia Mean, which is a luxury brand based in Brooklyn. You know, I'm working with that brand to create content, working with some of my fellow coworkers to help them create their content and stuff, while also working on my own content. And I was like, you know, your girl is talented, so why not bring that talent to the next level? And so here we are on my YouTube channel, and I'm excited to see what this year brings for my channel and just for content creating in general. Any friend breakups? Romantic relationship breakups are hard, but sometimes friendship breakups are harder. And I feel like we don't talk about that enough. I experienced a lot of friends that like I fell out with just from high school and stuff because of like our differences and like us literally growing apart. But that shit was hard, because it's hard because you think like, damn, like this, you know, that this is your friend, like they're gonna be with you and stuff like that. But of course life happens and things happen. So again, if y'all want to know more about all of that, make sure to check out, make sure to stay tuned and subscribe, because I am going to be talking a lot about those things in my skincare and talks to my therapist series on YouTube. Ooh, are you a spender or a saver? I'm a spender, y'all. I'm not even gonna fake it like I'm not. I'm a spender. I'm a spender. Am I trying to be a saver? Absolutely. 2023, I'm really trying to like actually save some coin, you know, like really establish my savings and also just like pay off like whatever debts I have. I don't know if the student loans are gonna get forgiven, but you know, your girl got student loans that she needs to pay off, and just like regular like credit card debt and stuff. So the goal this year is to, if not fully pay off, at least half of my debt. Like all of my money, I will say, mostly goes to like skincare products because I'm trying not to be a skincare junkie, but honestly, I like finding things that work great for my skin. But most of my money goes to like that and eating out. So I'm definitely trying to cut down on like the eating out stuff, because every time I look at my credit card statement and I see that the amount of Uber Eats orders, I'm like, Aylia, this is the problem. You could go buy groceries. You can do that. You can do that. So mark my words, 2023, we're gonna save. What's your style like? Honestly, I can't say that like I have a developed style. Like I do want to step more into like actually putting together outfits and stuff this year. But as for like my own style, I don't really have like an established style. I want to say that my style is pretty like lax, chill, very casual. When I'm going out or like have special events, I tend to dress up, but for the most part, I'm pretty casual. I'm also an after school teacher, so because of that, like my outfits tend to be just pretty chill and casual, because like I'm on the train, I'm traveling to and from work every day, you know, I'm working with kids, so because I'm doing all of that, like I tend to keep my outfits pretty relaxed. But when your girl is stepping out, she steps out, okay, with a little razzle dazzle. My proudest moment. Okay, we're gonna do a little humble brag, because I don't brag about myself enough. Like I don't brag about myself enough, or like I play myself very small. In 2023, we are not playing ourselves small no more. I'll give like 3 proud moments, because I'm just like, you know, this is really what I'm proud of. The first one being like graduating college during a pandemic, and I'm gonna emphasize that again, during a pandemic. I wanted to drop the fuck out. Every other day I said I'm dropping out. Like it was so, college was so hard, especially because like again I was going through just a lot of things mentally and like grieving a lot of things and stuff like that, and the pandemic hit and I couldn't walk across the stage. Like that shit broke my heart, because it's like, damn, like I did all this work thing, and when I realized I was not gonna be able to walk across stage, my heart was broken. But you know, we persevered and I graduated, but I was still very proud of the fact that like I graduated college on time with that. Back in 2019, I had a back injury, so that prevented, you know, like that gave me some hardships, but I still went to school. I was still working another part-time job at that time. Like I was doing a lot of things, and I experienced a lot of fucking burnout. Like I experienced too much burnout. But you know, on the other hand of that, I graduated college on time. Okay? Your girl got her BA on time. I was both proud and disappointed that like I can't show off or walk on that stage, you know, but of course my family and my friends and their support, I celebrated anyway. Had a graduation get together at the crib, and you know, also just like celebrate with my family as well. So that was my first proud moment. My second proud moment, I want to say, is really just like starting to put out reels on Instagram and having brands like that I love to use skincare products for recognize that. So like Youth to the People recognized a lot of like, you know, a lot of my reels, like they commented and liked my reels, and so like I was really proud during those moments, because I was like, oh shit, I was like, your girl could do this, okay? Especially because there's so much doubt that surrounds me sometimes, where I'm like, damn, am I actually capable of like creating content and like making this my thing, like making this work for me? And because I was able to like, you know, get recognized by these brands, like that was a really, really proud moment for me. So third proud moment is me launching this YouTube channel. I know it may sound a little cliche, but no, y'all, I'm really proud of myself for actually like putting this out, because the amount of doubt, the amount of fear that I had just doing so, it feels good to know that like I just did it. I went for it. This year I want to let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism will really like keep me from putting out the things that I want to put out, because I'm just like, no, it doesn't look this way, it doesn't sound that way. No, right? I want to let go of that. Like doubt and fear are gonna show up, but I don't want it to cripple me from putting out what I want to put out there. And what I want to put out there right now is content for myself to document my life, and also for the girlies, right? For my beautiful people who want to tune in and just feel like they want somebody to relate to, right? So that is the third proudest moment, and it is the proudest moment to start off this year. So again, I'm really, really excited about that. And those are my 3 proudest moments. Okay, favorite and worst birthday moments. This is a longer story time. But my favorite birthday, I want to say, was 23, and also this recent birthday, 24. My least favorite birthday was my 20th birthday, which goes hand in hand with some friend breakups, but we gonna talk about that. My 23rd birthday was just like really chill, but it is one of my favorites because like I said I was gonna do what I wanted, and I did exactly that. That weekend after my birthday for my 23rd, Sydney and I went to a hotel in New York City. They had like a gorgeous bathtub and everything, and I was just like, I really just want to take a bath. Like I just want to like soak myself in a deep soaking bathtub, really like just sit and relax, and like I just wanted a full weekend of leisure. And so we did that. We went out to dinner, we had a good time, and then I don't know if it was that same, I don't think it was the same weekend, but I think like the weekend after, all of my friends popped out by the house, and like we had a get together. We was lit. It was a good time. So 23 was really good. 24 is also really good, and y'all gonna see why in the next upcoming videos with my birthday vlogs. But I feel like 23 and 24 were like two of my favorite birthdays so far. 21 wasn't bad. Like 21 actually wasn't that bad. 21 was great actually. I think emotionally the space that I was in was just like, you know, not there. But in terms of being around my friends and having a good time, 21 was fucking lit. Say hi to the people.
Hello people.
This is Sydney. Y'all are gonna see a lot of her on my channel.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
We'll think about it. I just got rolling.
So 21 was lit also. So 21, 23, and 24 are like really good. My 20th birthday though, I'm not gonna lie, my 20th birthday was just like really traumatizing. It was a lot of drama, a lot of unnecessary drama at that. There were some arguments that broke out between like myself, my friends, my partner at the time. Like it was just too much. I was trying to set a boundary, and that boundary was crossed. And like I was then blamed for like setting the boundary, and I was just like, this doesn't make any sense. The dinner party was just chaotic, and I was like, I don't want to do this ever again. And so for a long time after that, I just felt like, yeah, like I don't want to celebrate my birthday. I don't actually do what I want on my birthdays. I always feel like when it comes to my birthdays, and like depending on whatever the circumstances are, I tend to try to make my birthday like include everybody and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I felt like a lot of what I was doing was just including people just to include people versus actually celebrating with the people that I think and feel like I want to celebrate with. And so that birthday, so my 20th birthday, I was just like, nah, this is trash. And it really did, like, essentially fuck up how I felt about my birthdays moving forward. And felt like my birthday was not worth celebrating, and like I'm not worth celebrating. It was a lot of those feelings simply because of my 20th birthday. And yeah, 2020 was not like 20 to bring in 20, it wasn't that great. But I'm grateful, you know, that like 23, 24, all of like these years to come are going to be my better years because I am actively including the people that I actually love and I know who love me back, you know? So I'm excited for that. Favorite high school moment. Okay, y'all, so I went to Talent Unlimited and I was a vocal major, so me and the girls was singing and whatnot. So I was a part of concert choir, and I don't know if it was senior year. I think it was senior year of high school, and we like had to sing like this Korean song. So we had to learn like the lyrics. It was really cool because like it was something completely different from like what we've done before. And so just like learning it was a really great experience. Overall, honestly, high school was a pretty good experience. Mostly because like I was just singing every day and doing what I love. How many tattoos do you got? All right, so I have in total, I think seven tattoos. I have one on my pinky and it says always, and this is a matching tattoo that I got with Sid. And then I have some red butterflies here behind my neck. And then I have a matching tattoo also behind this ear with my big sister. And I have my Capricorn symbol on the back of my neck back here. And then I have this one. This one is low-key like one of my favorite tattoos that I have. And I have this one on my wrist. I am low-key thinking about getting this covered up though, so yeah. And then I have a bigger tattoo on my back. It's like a sun and moon. It's a sun and moon with a lotus flower attached and like a dream catcher kind of situation, but it's really nice. So yeah, I have 7 tattoos in total. Am I going to get more? Absolutely. What's your favorite holiday? Christmas, and my birthday is a holiday, so Christmas and my birthday. Dream job. My dream job is honestly to be a full-time content creator. I would love to be a full-time content creator and a stay-at-home mom. That's the life that I want. And so if there's a way that I can make both of those things work for me, that would be my dream job. What's your type in partners? My Venus is an Aquarius, so like I'm attracted to genuine friendships, intellectual conversation, in-depth conversation. So I just love like those kind of things. So I feel like my preferred dating pool would be in my culture, in my race. However, things changed and I'm open to exploring outside of my culture. Although at the same time, I don't want to have to like explain certain things that just make sense for my West Indian culture. Like I don't want to have to explain things that make sense to me that probably won't make sense to somebody outside of my culture. But you know, whoever is meant for me will be for me. So yeah, that's like my ideal like partner, somebody that I feel is like my best friend and also I can have intellectual conversations with, because I love to talk and I love to talk about things in depth. My favorite food, anything that my mama makes. Yeah. And also mac and cheese. I'm a big sucker for some good mac and cheese. I've been verified to bring mac and cheese to the cookout, so I don't want to my own horn, but you know, your girl is allowed to bring the mac and cheese to the cookout. But nah, I'm a sucker for like good mac and cheese. Okay, how does your cultural background influence your everyday life? So what I will say is that, like, I think, especially with doing things like this, like content creating and stuff, at first my mom was kind of just like, you know, oh, like, when are you gonna go back to grad school? You know, you need to get something that's secure, blah, blah, blah. You know, the traditional run-of-the-mill Caribbean parent telling you to go get a stable job so you can make some money, right? And so I battled a lot with just like accepting that, like, yo, that's not for me. Like, not to say that I wouldn't go back and get my master's, but I do want to sit and actually like figure out, like, what am I going to get my master's in? Because I don't want to just get my master's and waste that money on something that, you know, is not going to fulfill me in the best way, right? I did think about going back to school to get my master's in like guidance counseling or social work. So that's something that's still like maybe on the table. But for now, I was like, I just want to create content. I want to do that. And at first my mom was just like, you know, what, like, you know, what does that look like? My mom is also a teacher, and she's been a teacher for 20 plus years. And she's just more so now pushing me to like do the things that I actually love to do. And I think it's just like, you know, because of the difficulties of her job, she's just like, I don't want you to be tied to something that you don't actually feel fulfilled doing. And it's not to say that she isn't fulfilled with being a teacher for the last 20 years, but I also think a lot of the stresses of the job now are influencing like her telling me to go after the things that I actually want to do. And then she, you know, she started investing in me and my pursuits. I'm really grateful that like we have now come to an understanding of just like, if this is the work that I'm meant to do, then this is the work that I'm meant to do. Outside of that, like, my culture is a big part of my identity. You know, I have my friends are also West Indian, you know, like we can understand each other on a deeper level. You know, and it's just a lot of like, I live in New York City, and where I live in New York City is like very populated with West Indian culture. So like my Jamaican heritage is a big part of my identity. If you could change one thing about society, what would it be? Ooh, that's good. Hold on, I gotta think about that. Really recognizing the experiences of Black women in this society, because let's be real, like, my Black women and their experiences, especially in the US, is very unique. And it hurts me sometimes, like, really, that like Black women are not believed firsthand. Like, there's this extra like proof that we have to provide when it comes to things that have, you know, happened to us and stuff. And if there was one thing that I could change about society, it would definitely be the ways in which we interact and advocate for Black women and the things that we need. Because we are human. Black women are not superheroes. We're not superhuman. We feel things, we go through things, and we may wear this chip on our shoulder and carry this mantle, but it's not to say that mantle is not heavy. It's not to say that the crown is not heavy. Like, heavy is the head that wear the crown, and Black women will wear the crown, but like, believe me when I say I need help, or believe me when I say I am hurting, believe me when I say this thing happened to me. And it's also just like that lack of sympathy that a lot of people have towards Black women for whatever fucking reason. Like, it's the lack of sympathy and the lack of empathy that we have towards Black women and the things that we say we go through. And I don't want that anymore. I'm speaking self-care for all of my Black women, Black identifying women. Like, I'm speaking self-care and better like treatment for this year and the years to come, because to be very honest, it's not right. It's not fair. Point blank period. It's not fair the way that Black women are treated, especially in this country, because we deserve better. So if there's one thing I could change about society, it would be that. Where do you see yourself living in 5 to 10 years? 5 to 10 years from now, I love my city. But my city is expensive as fuck. My city is expensive as fuck to live. Now, the reality is, I would love to be living in New York City 10 years from now, 5 to 10 years. Well, short term, 5 years, I want to be living in my own apartment in New York City. I would love to be able to own it. I'm a big person on like owning an apartment. I know people are like, oh, you should own a house, and it's like, no, I would very much prefer to own an apartment. Maybe because I've grown up in apartments my entire life, but the convenience of having like maintenance on hand and like a package, like all of those things are very convenient, and so I would like to hold on to that. So I very much see myself owning my own apartment in 5 to 6 years. 10 years, I'd love to be a mom. I'd love to still be doing content, but you know, it's in God's hands. We'll see what happens. Do you want any pets? Yes, I've been wanting a puppy for so long, and I said to myself, the day I move into my first apartment, I am getting myself a puppy. That's what I want. I've been wanting a puppy since I was a child, and I'm going to get myself that puppy. What's your favorite thing about yourself? So, to be honest, I think my favorite thing about myself, like physically speaking, I want to say my favorite thing about myself is definitely my skin. It's been a long time coming for my skin to look this good, and also my eyes. I love my eyes. I think like my eyes and my lips are my favorite features. And personality wise, I really want to say my favorite thing about myself is my sensitivity. I used to dread being so sensitive when I was younger because like I would be called too sensitive, and people would call me, oh, you need to grow tougher skin and stuff like that. And I had so much trouble like just accepting, like, I'm a person who cries at little things. I cry because I'm happy. I cry because I'm sad. I'll cry because I'm mad. And like, I feel things so deeply. And I used to hate that about myself. But now, you know, just talking through those feelings and like really accepting myself for who I am, I want to say my sensitivity is my favorite thing about myself, because it allows me to be empathetic to people. It allows me to extend grace to myself and be kind to myself. The work that I do, whether it be with community or children or whatever, like I gravitate towards that work because of my empathy, because people are able to come to me and be like, yo, like, you know, like I need to talk about this thing, and I lend them my ear, I lend them my shoulder. And of course with empathy comes me having to set my own boundaries so that I'm able to take care and recharge myself. But over the years, like my sensitivity was always felt like a weakness to me. It always felt like I need to be a different person. And no matter how much I tried to be a different person, I always came back to being sensitive. I always, like, my friends call me crybaby all the my friends call me a crybaby all the time. And like, even Sydney sometimes is like, you are the most crybaby Capricorn I know. But that's just who I am. Like I truly am a sensitive person, and like I love when people tell me like I'm really warm and welcoming and gentle, and just like I have that aura about myself, because at one point I fucking hated it. Excuse the language. It feels good now to know that like that's who I am, and that's my favorite thing about myself. Any siblings? Yes, I do have siblings. So I have my older sister. My older sister is 29, I'm 24, so we're about 5 years and some months apart. She's a Virgo, so I'm the baby of the family. Favorite childhood memory? One thing I really did love growing up was I would love waking up to the fresh smell of banana bread that my mom would make on certain days. Like that was one of my favorite childhood memories. What's my signs? Oh, what's your big three? Okay, so my big three, I am a Capricorn Sun, Leo Moon, Aries Rising. It's funny because something I get told a lot is like when people meet me and they're like, oh, like what's your sign? I'm like, oh, I'm a Capricorn. And they're like, really? Like you give off a different vibe. Some people have even mistaken me as like a Aries or a Leo, and they're like, oh, like you give off like this kind of vibe. And I'm like, no, like I'm, you know, like my star sign, my sun sign is a Capricorn, but I feel like a Leo and I lead like an Aries. So do with that what you will, okay? So Beautiful people, with that being said, this is the closing of your girl's first YouTube video. If you did like today's video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to also check me out on Instagram as well. I will be posting some things on there about my birthday vlogs coming up. I loved this Q&A. Thank you guys for the questions that you guys asked. I hope this gave you a little glimpse of who I am, and hoping that you stay with me to see what it's like to be a part of Aylia's diary. All right, take care.